for us, what we want to share with you is that Army is a rites of passage for everyone, every young male Singaporean like ourselves. It's a life-changing experience. Everyone has to go through it, and because everyone has to go through it, it's like passing a baton. Your fathers would have gone through it, and then it's your turn, and then when you have your own family, your children will have to go through it. So, because of this unique experience, there's some knowledge, military knowledge, or just life lessons that can be passed on, handed down from one generation to another. Unfortunately, my dad didn't have the privilege of serving the army, because back then, not everyone has to be conscripted. But I think the rest of my fellow former section mates might be able to share in that department. Some things you might want to know when you go about doing your project is that the landscape of the army has changed since it was first established. Basic military skills could include like waking up on time, following instructions, working as a team, working with other people. Because when you go to school, you get to choose your friends. You get to choose who you want to work with. But in camp, sometimes you don't have that luxury. And you realize that this is true when you go out to work as well. There are people sometimes with different personalities that you have to work with different backgrounds. So how you speak to them, how you relate to them is something you have to bear in mind. Okay, that is, I would say, my experience as a recruit. That kind of trust that is involved, communication, and being able to work as a team. And most importantly, when you are in a position of power, of a capacity to lead, you must make sure that you are able to garner your entire team. Yeah, you cannot just give instructions, because in the field, just telling someone, hey, do this, do that, would not cut it. You have to encourage their hearts to want to be able to fight alongside you and to put in their 100%, because your life is dependent on them.
You don't feel loved in the army, you feel like, how do I put it? You feel like you're a soldier. So when you reach home, you actually want people to like share concern for you. Okay, you want to feel that you're being loved. So I have a very caring sister. So whenever I reach home, okay, she offer me to clean up my stuff. Then I will just say no. But you know, sometimes the intentions that matters the most, because you realize that when you're in need, right, like your siblings and your mom is there to care for you, instead of like just so just do your own things, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I guess it's quite a good experience in NS. You get to actually see people that really care for you and stuff like that.
Okay, because from unit, right, I get to mix with people from all walks of life, literally. Like, I have many friends right now in my unit, they are not from JC like us, they are from poly, IT, dropouts, all those. But the thing is that, right, what you can learn from these people are definitely more than what you learn in JC. It's like the way they look at situation, the way they handle different people, the willingness of them, everything. So it's quite an eye-opener for me, getting to know them more. So actually, this NS experience for me so far, right, personally, has been quite a unique one. Personally, before I entered NS, I wasn't really like encouraged or interested in NS. Like, why am I wasting my 2 years? What am I doing? But now, when I'm dealing to ORD in about 3 months' time, I kind of realize that actually what I think out of it, right, some are positive, some are negative. But ultimately, I realized that I learned a lot from it. From basically, most important is my family. As you know, when we go through our BNT experience, the 3 months' time, right, it's a totally different scenario and context for us. From having to wake up early, sleep early, going outfield, doing all sorts of physical stuff. For people who are not really active, right, it's a really new experience. From then on, they all gave us a letter. Actually, a letter that our parents wrote for us. And that was most memorable moment of my NS. I actually opened the letter. I was very shagged, very tired. I just want to go home, and sleep. But when I opened the letter, it's like handwritten notes from my family. They wrote for me, they encouraged me, and everything. That moment was a very special moment for us. I cannot imagine it, but actually I did. I cried during that time. I actually read the letter and we all cried. So it made us realize the importance of NS to us, like, you know, how important is it to fight for our nation, the importance of it. So that's why this team, right, NS on Father of Science, is very suitable. It shows that no matter we are 1G Army in the past or 3G Army now, the importance of NS is there. So that's why I hope that through this animation team, for you all here, big guys or girls, right, you all can learn something out of it and like be there for your loved one next time, like your boyfriend, girlfriends, or your family and all. More importantly, right, through your animation, your clips that will be broadcast nationwide, right, people can know more about NS and learn from it. Just like how many people benefited from our Every Single Person Sun. Yeah. So for us, we did not have ESF before we enter, so it's like what we know about NS are all hearsay. So we do not have a concrete idea of what NS means, what BMT is like. But because of ESS, right, many people have a better idea and a clever idea of what to expect and what is the truth. So hopefully your kids also give them a more concrete and clever idea of what Total Defense is all about, what NS is all about. Yeah. So that's what I will share, and good luck to you all.
Thank you. In particular, the first part is the honor and glory part, which is why everyone wants to be an officer. And the second part is the pain and suffering, and more suffering, and much, much more suffering. Okay, so the first part, why do people want to be an officer? Okay, initially, what seemed really attractive is that people have to call you sir. Yes, even people that are 10 years older than you, they have to address you as sir. And secondly, when people of lower ranks see you, they actually have to stop and salute you and say good morning sir, or whatever. So you see, it really comes to stroke your ego. But, okay, so that's the honor and glory part, and when you enter OCS, they'll tell you, okay, this, you know, duty, honor, country, blah, 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 blah. And I was in charge of leading a couple of my friends. I was tasked to lead them to the right place. So when you're in the wrong place, it's hot and miserable, you know, you feel like you just want to give up because you feel like you're completely worthless, you let all your friends down. That's when I remember what my dad told me about never giving up, you know, persevering and pressing on. He had this saying, or rather, one of my friends from OCS had this saying, you know, it's a thing of like, it's mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Right? And it's simple things like this that help you get through the days. And to me, that's honestly the most important thing that OCS has taught me, or that I've learned in the Army so far, is perseverance and to never, never, never give up.
Like what Douglas said, there are times in NS where you feel like just quitting. I honestly thought that I was not even going to pass out as a third sergeant, because prior to that, we had to go to Taiwan, and it was just as challenging, charging up hills and such. What keeps me going, firstly, are the people around me. Sometimes we underestimate the importance of having good, supportive company around you, people around you. The people that affect you directly will be your section mates. That is the smallest denomination in the Army. We were from the same section in BMT. And beyond that, it would be people at home. As important as Army, or as life-changing as Army is to you, it is also a significant moment in life for your parents as well. To see you go through Army, for them is a very proud moment, it's a milestone. So a lot of people forget the kind of role that people back at home play. Like some people say, why girls don't have to serve Army? Well, it would be more effective for girls to play a supportive role at home. Like what the way said, you know, when your brothers come home, you know, just
wash their clothes.
Wash their clothes. No, you're not supposed to wash our clothes. But yeah, you know, offer some support, moral support. Okay, for me personally, I have a very good friend who's a girl, and what she did. Okay, very funny. Okay, what she did, right? Okay, get this. Okay, BMT is 3 months. For every single day that I was away, she wrote a journal entry, and yeah, I right, honestly, as a recruit, you don't really have any means of communication with the outside world. Okay, and the kind of phones that are allowed in are as good as toy phones, because tell me which phones do not have camera nowadays, right? So the only ones we could find probably only has a calculator in it. Yeah, so you don't have internet, you don't have MSN, you don't have all this. So like, what she did was to document like things that is happening in the world. Like her excuse was like, so that you don't become like some village boy at the end of army, right? So when I passed out on my first book out, it was 3 weeks later. So I saw all these entries, like every single day without fail, and there's still like paper cutouts and like collages, and then I'm like, wow, so sweet. Yeah. It was very sweet. Okay, like I thought it was very funny. She thought it was very funny, but it's little things like this that keeps you going. That to know that people haven't forgotten you. The important thing is just to keep an open mind. You do not know what you're going to expect. The kind of people you're going to meet, leadership styles. And for me personally, there were occasions where I had to work with people whom I disagreed with. Yeah, but you still have to keep an open mind and find ways to work around it. So I guess this hits on the core value of the SAF, which is professionalism. Yeah, you have to keep the show going. You cannot just because of one little squabble, you say, no, I disagree with you, even though or rather you are of a lower rank, why should I listen to you? The objective in mind is of paramount importance. Yeah, it precedes any other little concerns that you might have.
Okay, I had this experience when I got food poisoning and I went to the hospital. Okay, my so-called bed buddy, okay, this uncle, right, that he talks to me every night, seriously, every night, every lunch, every dinner. So, and then I found out, okay, he's actually Israeli, he's being trained by Israeli. So his officer course compared to his officer course, his is 2 years. So he told me about his experiences, okay, where they were just eating and then the armor tank will just move off and they have to just pack up. Okay, then when I compare my experiences with his experiences, right, I have a learning point, which is you don't compare with people that are more fortunate than you, but you compare yourself with people that are less fortunate than you, that gone through more hardship than you. So on the hindsight, you know that I can do this because someone has done worse. Okay, this is the advice that I will give my kid. Okay.
For the question about what will I tell my sons, right, basically is what Nabi has said. It's really important to have an open mind. Because when you go into NS, right, you will not know who your section mates are, who your platoon mates are. They will definitely not be those like not from the same JC or same clique or same whatever. You're meeting people from different education background, different styles of doing things, leadership. But if you are not open enough, right, you will just close yourself up and not accept their way of doing things, their rationale, their way of handling stuff. So an open mind is very important for you to be receptive to them and really listen to them. So an open mind is, I guess, the most important for NS. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.